my neighbours, good citizens all, I thank you for coming and heeding the call. Let's rally the people and bring them all near. Sing out our songs for the whole world to hear. This is the cradle of all that we are. This is the heart of the storm. This is the ground where the future was born. This here is Anvil and this is our home. Each song that we sing and each story we tell, each hero we name and each life that we sell, each breath and each beat of your heart is a beat of the drum. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Before 10 in the morning, we're barely alive. We're like ghosts, we're like spirits, and then coffee arrives. Then heroes awaken and stand by your side. Now gather your courage and sing out your pride. But the storm will not break us, although it may try. The sun may beat down and may bake the world dry, but we stand by our neighbours and raise them up tall. Gather your voices and scream out the call. For you are my empire and you are my hall. For you I would fight and for you I would fall. For you are the beat of my heart and the heart of my song. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. So fill up your tankards and fill up your lungs. Leave no words unspoken and no song unsung. Make noise for your heroes, your kith and your kin. Sing out their names and the pride that they bring. Together we stand and divided we fall. And the future we write will be shaped by us all. Oh, we are the singers and we are the song of a story that's greater than more. Sing along. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see. I tell you, my friends, there's nowhere that I'd rather be. Give me drink in my cup and friends who will share it, song on my lips and ears that'll hear it, fire in my eyes to light all the good people I see.
What is up, everybody? Oh, I got Joel already. Oh. See, I fucked things up there. There we go. Alright, well, we're already live, Joel, so literally you jumped in the second I did that, so... Oh my god. How you doing, buddy? Good stuff. You can't hear Joel. Say something, Joel.
Hello.
Now you can hear Joel. There we go. Right, I'm going to turn me up a little bit as well. He's quiet. Can you turn yourself up at all, Joel?
Let's see.
If a guest runs late, interview yourself. Genius. Well, that was the plan. To be honest, I need to turn my camera so you can't see my no-no juice.
I'm actually maxed out. Let's see if I
Okay, let me see if I can turn. Let's see what happens here. Right, how is that for Joel? Say something else.
Blue. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I tried to do it on my SteelSeries engine. And it says my headphones aren't connected.
Well, we can hear you, so it's fine. But and on the stream thing, you look, yeah, it looks like you're fine. So, if anything, I'm a bit loud, to be honest. But it should be all right. I just have to talk less like myself. So, but it's bloody hot in here.
It's
So,
basically cold here.
well, that's because you're what, in Poland somewhere?
Yeah, Poland.
Sweden. Whereabouts are you?
Poland. Sorry?
Whereabouts in Sweden are you?
Fairly far south. Sweden's a big country.
Not really.
Yeah, there's a Swedish heat wave, Helen. It just ended.
Just ended. Well, ours ended, and then it started again, and it's come back with a vengeance. So how is the audio for everyone now? Can you all hear Joel all right? Yeah. So I see. I've taken a few things on board now. So we've got the chat on screen now as well. I don't know why I'm reaching out. Hello. Just bellow, Joel. So I've taken some things on board. So we're gonna have got the chat will be up on the channel. So when I put this on YouTube, people can see what we're chatting about as well, and they can see all of that. There was something else, but I've forgotten it. It's completely gone. No, I do remember now. I remember something came up today, actually, for the first time in ages. It's I drink so much, you see. It rarely happens now. I contacted a certain campsite to see if we could do some camping, and the campsite is open.
Oh.
So I have contacted them to see if I'm able to host a little bit of a community camping thing up at Dadford, where we play Empire. So I might be able to get a group of people together, so we might be able to do a bit of a community camping session.
Fun.
Yeah, so it could be a bit of a laugh. I mean, obviously, the invitation. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the light as well. Sorry, I got. It was recommended I buy a light too, so I'll come to that in a second. So, obviously, I would open the invitation to you as well, Joel. But
Yep.
you're obviously over in Denmark. It's going to change throughout this entire stream, mate. I do apologise. Next step to polish my head. That's why I have this. So, it's so obviously you're over in Sweden at the moment. So it's difficult for you to get over, and obviously with the coronavirus and everything, you could come, but you'd have to leave 2 weeks early.
Yeah.
To come camping. So I have this. This was suggested by Dan to get a light. So I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know where I'm meant to put it. I'm a bit of a shit streamer. So we'll just see what happens. So I forgot to turn it on. So it's meant to help. It's bright. Did I get an LED ring light? I did, Abby. I did. And I can't see anything anymore. I have to wear glasses already. It affects my face. Next stream, he's going to have a tan. I am really illuminated.
Yes, you are.
Oh. Ah. See,
Perfect.
It's better for everyone. Can you adjust the brightness? I can adjust the brightness. Do you want me to do I turn it down a little bit? Oh, how's that? A little bit more, maybe. As per temporary tattoos. I've already got the one tattoo, so there we go. So is that better now? Because I just wanted things to look a bit better. Oh, I've got a ring now in my field of vision. It's just like pretty colours and all. Wow. So really glad Joel is here for me to do my light advert. Yeah, thank you for that, Joel. Thanks for coming, man. I really appreciate it.
Ah,
So yeah, so
I really tried hard to get here in time.
I know you've done well. You've done well. So I figured that there'd be a chance that we could do a bit of camping, get the community together. So people who have never been to Empire and stuff like that, then we can get more things together and hopefully get people to meet up. Maybe make it so we could put kit on, have a bit of a fight and stuff like that potentially, but be a bit socially distant as well. That's if they come back and say, yeah, it's all fine. The site's open, so I don't see why they won't, but it'll be interesting. When I put it, if it does do it, and we decide when to do it, I will put it out to this community first. So if people want to come along to see what the site is like, to get a feeling for what it's like to camp there, and stuff, then it's for us lot first, okay, and then we'll put it out to other people and we can go from there. So hopefully that's the plan there. Guess you'll be popular when you advertise that, but yeah, as I say, it's all coming to community first. To pick arrows out of season, yeah, exactly. We could head down to the battle site and we can find all the arrows that people have lost. Though now t-shirts are here, what's next for merch? No idea. None whatsoever. The t-shirts are here, so if people want t-shirts, then just let me know. Joel, you'll be pleased to know they do have child sizes.
Yay!
Scott, if I am only a little bit smaller than you, mate, and I am now wearing an XL, so yes, mate, I have a size for you. So really, really don't worry, man. They are really comfortable as well, actually. And I'm not just saying that. I'm quite picky when it comes to t-shirts. So, yeah, so they give it normally like 3X, so 2X should fit. Yeah, so they are good. They are very good. So I'm normally a 2XL, but in these I'm an XL. So yeah, Helen's got one. I don't know if Rachel's has turned up yet. Actually, it should have done. Ben, I've got Ben and his wife's all packed away, so that will be posted tomorrow for Ben. So there's 2 in there. I already let slip about what you've done, Ben, because I'm shit at these sorts of secrets. So it's a very simply a case of no, he hasn't yet, Matt. To be honest, I haven't shut up. So so the long and short of it is Ben bought an extra t-shirt and shut up, Matt. And Ben bought an extra t-shirt and has offered to give it away in a competition. So on Friday's chill out stream, I'm going to do a giveaway courtesy of Ben, and someone can win themselves one of these t-shirts. So thank you so much for doing that, Ben. You are a leg end. But anyway, I will shut up about that sort of stuff, as Matt so succinctly put it. Joel, thank you for coming along to the stream, mate. It's we've been talking about doing a little chat with you for a while, but we've never really got round to it. So thankfully today we have. So do you want to do your introduction? Tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm Joel. I'm not from Finland. I'm from Sweden. However, I LARP as Empire, mainly due to Steve and his wonderful fiancée, Helen.
Oh, did you just forget her name?
Yep.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. They basically forced me to come over 2 years ago, and I loved it. So I'm just going back, over and over again.
Yeah, yeah. It's always good when you get there because you're sat down. You generally turn up at the wrong time as well, don't you? So
Yep.
as soon as we're putting up the awning and everything, and then you arrive, and
Yep.
then Hugh miraculously has wandered off to put up his own tent and doesn't come back for 5 hours. So he avoids doing any work whatsoever. But yeah, so you always turn up at that sort of time to help put everything up, and then you have to go up and sort out your tent afterwards. So,
Well, I never actually had my own tent, so that would have always been fine.
oh yeah, because
I had
you borrow,
I had a
don't you?
share with Hughes, and I borrowed. I was going to borrow from you.
Mm.
That actually I had to set up, but I never did because I borrowed from Justin instead.
Yeah, because you camped IC, didn't you, that time round?
Yeah, I did.
How did you find that?
Wet.
Wet.
It was very fun.
Was Justin dribbling again?
No, he hadn't patched his tent.
Ah, right. So it wasn't Chundercat then.
No, luckily.
Excellent. Very, very lucky there. So, so Abby says, "Oh wow, you've come so far." He is. You're not the only one who comes from Sweden, though, are you? There's a few other
I,
people as well.
I know about two. I never met him, but I know about two. And then there's at least two more players from Denmark,
Yep.
and I've heard about one from Finland, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. So there was a lucky guess by Ben there, because we've had there's John Aggs and his wife Nana. They come from Sweden as well.
Yep.
They're in Wintermark.
Yeah, that's the one I've heard about.
Yeah, you got Dave McKenius as well. He's moved to Sweden now.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's moved to Sweden. I don't know where. I don't know where. All he does is post pictures of himself drinking beer and then looking out of his window at a lake or a fjord.
Oh, yeah, no, Fjord's Norway.
It's Scandinavia, man, and I'm uneducated.
Yeah, lakes in Sweden. Well, yeah, that just lives everywhere.
So, Sweden is apparently a hotbed of Empire players. Yeah, there's definitely a few. We get them from there's Germany as well. I think we get a few from Germany who come over. France, Holland. I don't know if you ever met. Did you ever meet the Marines from America as well?
No, didn't.
Yep, there was a couple in Navari US Marines came over as well. I'm still in touch with, and yeah, they're good. They're good lads to have a nice chat with. I have to ask chat as well. Do you like the new way I've done the names too? Because I've made it so you can actually read them this time because they were pretty pretty poor last time. Um, we have a Scandinavian couple who are coming over to the Orcs at the next event. Awesome. We had a guy fly over from Texas at E4 last year in Urzen. That's fantastic. It's all about recruiting the US embassy staff, of course, because there's Rachel Westra as well. Uh, so who wants to donate a world map for Stephen? Yeah, need it, obviously. Um,
I have one right there.
yeah,
I'll bring it next time.
I'll say yeah, bring it, bring it. So what was it that? How did you first hear about Empire then?
I first heard about it through Hat Films, as many other new players. Don't shake your head. You're friends with him.
They're all dicks. No one likes them.
However, that made me interested in Larp and not Empire really. And
Yeah.
then I, for some reason, decided to go to the Empire. I don't know, somewhere. And I started talking to Helen
Hmm.
and a few other people. And
Yeah.
then I met you. And then on we went.
And then unfortunately, we introduced you to the likes of Kit and Justin and people like
Yeah.
that. So
It all went downhill from there.
pretty much, yeah, that's generally the way of it, to be honest, mate. So, straight in there with a question from Matt. So, what would you say the major differences between UK LARP and LARP back home? Because obviously you went into national service, didn't you,
Yeah, I did.
as well? So that's essentially for the Scandinavians, that is one giant LARP because they don't do much.
No, not really.
Snowball fights, snowmen.
Exactly.
Sorry. Sorry, carry on.
I'm going to be honest. I've never actually laughed in Sweden.
No?
I have I've tried to find somewhere I want to, and I found two. I was going to go there this year, but
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't done it before because it's basically most are just so far away from me. So
Mm.
it's honestly the same amount of time for me to travel there as to travel to UK, and it just
Ah,
feels
not
so
really.
much time wasted.
Yeah.
And they are much smaller. There's nothing inside of Empire. Like I don't know, perhaps 300 players is the largest event I've heard about.
Well, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad, but if you compare it,
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if you compare it to Empire, then you're not going to find a huge amount like that, though, are you, really?
no, of course not.
So how do you find storing all your what about your kit and stuff like that, hauling it back and forth? What's your um, I mean, what's the struggles that you face with that?
Well, just managing to bring everything. I
Mm.
don't rent a car when I get to UK. I don't want to drive because it's on the wrong side of the fucking road. Um, but so I try to hitch a ride or just go by public transport. So I don't want too many bags. I just use one big backpack and one carry-on on the plane.
Yeah.
Oh well, technically it's two big backpacks, but they are put together, so it's just one.
Okay.
And it's just to fit everything in. It's a pain. Luckily, I don't need to bring a tent over. I borrow so much from you guys. Weapons, armor. Well, I do own the weapons, but you have them.
Mm.
But yeah, so yeah, just getting everything there is fucking pain. You don't mind me swearing, do you? Because I swear a lot.
No, no, it's fine. Everything gets marked as not safe for kids and stuff. So,
Ah, good.
and it comes up with a little warning as well, saying that it's an adult stream. So, I just haven't got naked yet. I mean, that's just that's the next step. I hear booby streamers do very very well, and let's face it, some of them I've seen, I have got bigger boobs.
I believe you.
Oh. So, okay, so Ben's asked a question about your character as well. So tell us a bit about you at Empire. Who is your character, and what nation do you play, and what game do you like to do?
I'm playing Gareth, our Vine in the Navarre.
Who?
Apart Gareth,
Who?
fuck off. Uh,
It's not his name.
no, it's Spoon according to you.
That's better.
Uh, I'm part of 2 Feet. Uh, since both Steve and Helen was part of it, and then I joined when they were there. Then they left, and I'm still there with the rest of them. Uh,
Yeah.
and as I said, I'm a Vine. For those who don't know what that is, that's the battlefield healers of Navarre. So I do healing and battles mainly,
Yeah.
uh, and lots of drinking around the campfire because everyone does that.
Yeah. I will say that vines are not an official archetype for the Navarre.
Oh,
They are something that's it's a work in progress, and
we're
yeah,
getting there.
yeah. PD need to do a lot of stuff for that, so it's not an official thing yet. It's not on the wiki. It's all in character at the moment. Okay.
Yep.
So any questions there? Then when you get into the field, go and ask all your questions there. So, um, yeah. So yeah, you've been because I think I've walked around with you a little bit, haven't I? I've taken you around the field a couple of
Yeah.
times.
First event, you and I spent quite a lot of time together.
Mm,
Last event, we ran around in circus around each other, I think. Because, I don't know, every time we tried to find you, you went there.
mm. Yeah, it makes sense, to be honest. And yeah, but I think that's generally the way of it when you get into the field. Trying to find that one person, you're gonna struggle.
Oh yeah.
Matt Dawes has recommended you a wheel case. I've been using wheel cases since the beginning of Empire. They're an absolute godsend, especially when I was doing events on the train. So
Let me just go quick Google on what the fuck that is.
it's a case that's got wheels on it.
Oh yeah, all right.
That's all.
No,
That's a get. That's off the top of my. Yeah.
it's just a simple. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do have one. However, it's easier just carrying everything on my back. I can show you the backpack. It's underneath the blade. It's just large as hiking backpack, and it fits most of the stuff I need.
You've got a Bergen, haven't you? Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know what I either. So.
Yeah, a military style backpack, quite big,
Oh, yeah.
nice. Yeah. Yeah, so you got a nice Bergen. It holds a lot. And they are really really good. They're like the TARDIS.
Yeah. I think it's 90 liters or something like that.
Yeah, they're great. I've got an old style sack Bergen. Love them. So it's just a one strap goes over, and you could fit probably you in it quite easily. So
That's a lot.
it's they are pretty good. Obvious. So I've heard about them. Probably about the vines and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think Helen has asked, how much does it cost roughly to do the journey?
Alright, let me just do some quick maths because it's all in Swedish crowns and not in British pounds.
Just tell us how much it costs you in that, and then someone in chat who's not on screen.
It's quite easy. It's about you can always count about 10 Swedish crowns to a pound, a bit more, but around that. So it's about depending on which airline you use, it's about 300, bit less than £300 for the flight. Then I always do one night before going back. So that's another, like, I don't know, 30, 40 quid. And then the train, you know how much the train costs, because I don't really anymore in the UK, because that's just expensive. In Sweden it costs like, what, tenner? That's not the case in the UK.
No, it's really, really not. Because you fly into Gatwick, don't you? Is it Gatwick or Heathrow?
No, actually, I've flown to Birmingham most times.
Birmingham
and Stansted.
Mm.
And I've just found Birmingham being easier with public transport, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, so yeah, 450 an event about in travel cost.
Jesus, man. That's commitment right there.
That's why I don't go too often.
Well, no, but it's always really good when we do see you. So I mean, that's absolutely amazing. That's fantastic. I genuinely had no idea that it cost you that much. So
yeah, no, it does. That's why I try to go there as much as I can, but sometimes I just have to say no, I can't because I'm a student.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't been until now, but
no, but you come along though. That you make the effort. That's the main thing right there. And it's always really good when we do get to see you because it's always fun. It's always a laugh, and we always and you always jump in on the jokes when it comes to Hugh's drinking habits. So, question on being on the continent. Have you played any of the big 3 German events?
no, I haven't. I really wanted to go to Drakenfest. I mean, it was just too much money at the time. I prioritized Empire, and then I know people at Empire. I don't really know anyone at Drakenfest, so
you will do.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah,
you will do because I am looking to arrange a trip to Drakenfest.
I've heard about that.
Yes, so when everything's obviously COVID is sorted, and however long that takes and things open up, then I will be looking at getting a large group of people together so that we can all go, and I'll try to give people a year's notice hopefully, and then we can all go have a laugh, dress up. But there's actually I think the channel's called Scald. They're on Twitch. It's a German channel, and they show video from Drakenfest.
Oh,
and they show the
nice.
combat, And I tell you what, seeing that combat, there's a lot of people here who do a lot of combat in for Empire, and I tell you what, we're wiping the floor over there.
Really?
Yeah, it looks awful. they
Oh,
look
right.
they look really laid back. I mean, this
Oh,
I've only seen little bits of it, but it looked really really chilled. But then again, LARP combat, when you are seeing them through the GoPro, when you're seeing them through GoPros and things like
yeah.
that, oh, it doesn't look great. It really
Right.
doesn't look
No.
great at all. But this guy was just watching from a distance, and then getting involved,
Yeah.
and yeah, it wasn't amazing.
All right.
But the things that I was interested in is that as you were looking off into the distance, you could see the big fort that they had made,
Yeah.
and this fort looked like a good few 100 meters long as well.
Yeah,
It was
I've seen
absolutely
pictures.
amazing. So, um, yeah, as Matt said, UK LARP versus German LARP. The German model of LARP is extremely different to the UK model of LARP. Yeah, there's going to be a massive difference. So it will take a long time. It will take a little bit of time to get used to it.
Yeah,
But
of course.
as Sparky has said, a new land to take for the Empire. Damn right. I
Damn
want
right.
I want to turn up there and yeah, just take over. It'll be so good. It'll be great. We'll all be dead in an hour.
Yep.
So when you first got to Empire, then you got off. I mean, you knew a couple of people a bit. You had never met anybody, and then you landed. You got to site, and you were just there. How did you find things when you first sort of set things up for yourself?
Oof. Uh, Scary. Really.
Yeah.
I'm fluent in English, as most people here. However, I struggle with words sometimes, as you also heard, and that was a big. I didn't want to really get involved too much because I was afraid people had to say what, what, all over and over. Uh, and I also, it was just so massive, and everything seemed so daunting. So yeah, everything was scary. But having, I knew you, I knew Helen, I knew Hugh. I also knew Charles and Charlie, or Charlie and Charlie, as they prefer to be called now. That's annoying. Um, so I knew people enough to being able to go with just them
Yeah.
and whatever they were doing. And of course, I got to know Kit and Will, Justin. So I just spent most of my event with them and you, and
Yeah.
that was enough for me, really.
Yeah, from my perspective, you don't get involved in a lot of plot. I think is the best way to describe it. You seem to be there for the people more than anything.
Yeah, that's basically also why I haven't gone to Swedish LARP yet, because that's much more plot and less. I'm there for the festival feeling and everything around it, not just the plot.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good way to be though. I think that it's something. It's like I keep on saying about Empire. It's the real community atmosphere, and you
Yeah,
have that. And I think you're a perfect example where the other example is something that I always talk about as well, with the orcs, like with Matt, and that it's you turn up and you've got that group and you can just sit down, chat, and you are just there. You're settled. You have a drink. You have a laugh. You have a sing song, and you're sorted. And
yeah,
you've got that in whatever group that you go to. Because I tweeted Abby a couple of times over the last couple of days, and she's saying that she's coming to join the Navarre. So it's just like, ooh. So it immediately piqued my interest because not that I've played a lot of Navarre, but it was like, oh, okay, this is really, really cool. Something interesting to chat about. But Abby and her brother, well, Abby especially, she's undecided of what she wants to do character-wise, but
yeah,
yeah, well, you think about your character, don't you? At the end of the day, I'm not
yeah.
too
You do.
sure what her brother does though. So, but this is the thing though. You turn up, you're new, you're gonna meet people, and everyone you get to go to the standing, and everyone goes, "Oh, they're new. I have a name now. Well, a first name, Nim. Okay, Nim. It's a start. It's a start for a character. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
these always start somewhere. I My character name, and not a lot of people know this. His name is a piss take of my first character's most memorable moment and death, basically. So yeah, werewolf warrior is what my names mean. So, and that's what they obviously took the piss out of for my first character. So yeah, that all went from there. So Matt said, weirdly enough, you could play your Empire characters at Drakenfest because of the way the game is designed. I recommend the Gold Camp because it is the camp with the best English translation. But we should focus on Joel and Empire. Um, the plan for I will say this about Dragonfest is that the plan for that was to go as pretty much as your Empire characters. So you had those relationships, you had that knowledge already of what you were like with people, and then you turn up, you played, you had a laugh, and then you get involved and stuff like that. So you had a head start essentially for a new game. So it would be such a good laugh.
Yeah.
So, still, Helen's asked, have you considered what other nations you would like to try out?
Oh, I want to try most of them really. If Gareth dies, I'm really undecided what to do. I like Navarre. I really love Navarre, and I want to stay there.
Yeah,
However, when I first heard about Empire, not when I first heard about it, when I first started to this, when I first decided I'm going to go there, I decided for Wintermark as first and foremost because uh, Vikings mostly. They're not Vikings, I know, but that's the gist of it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so I do like the idea of Wintermark. I know they're more like Rohan from the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Oh, that mixed up. But I'm not sure I want to go there next. I do really fancy Varushkin. Yeah. Then I also want to try the League and the Brass Coast. So uh, I'm all over the place.
wow. So, in all honesty, man, if you decided you wanted to leave Navarra and come to Wintermark, I would have, I know me and Helen would have recommended you and dragged you into our hall straight off.
I know you would. I know you would.
So,
Uh,
I mean, Josh misses you.
I miss him too. He was great fun.
Yeah. So I mean, you would have had all of that. So, but so if so, we go to touch on it again. So Gareth, for some reason, is lost in the system. PD have contacted you and said your character's gone. We're really sorry. Have all of
Yep.
this XP. You need to make a new character though. Where would your
Yep.
if you had if you had to say now, where would your character be? Would it be Varushka?
Oh, I'm really undecided. Varushka or Wintermark? Uh, I have no connections at all in Varushka, so that's daunting. However, I really like the brief. I really do.
Yeah, yeah. The Varushkan brief is fantastic. I know people in Varushka and it's incredible. There's you got a guy who played the old Varushkan general Olaf. I've had conversations with him. It's one of the stories I like to say was when obviously with Mac and him chatting, him with his Russian accent, me with my Irish accent, we swapped accent like 5 times during a conversation. It was great. But he is a fantastic role player. You've got yeah, Pete. I get worried about saying names sometimes for people, but um, he is a fantastic role player. And there, I know a few people, and you got Evil Auntie Sarah as well. She is, she's incredible. I think Scott will back me up on that one as well. That Sarah, she is an incredible role player, absolutely incredible. So if you wanted to do that, I mean, I would be happy to say, oh yeah, I know these people. I'll put you in touch with them. You can do that because I think traveling the Empire as a player is incredible. And just to say, I want to do this, I want to do this, and then going off to try it all, it's going to be amazing. that something funny enough, me and Helen had a chat about was something that Matt said on Friday, that once you've played an orc, you never leave the orcs. So we've decided that the orcs are now going to be our last, because if that's the case, yeah, we want to try a
Yeah.
few others first. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you ever decide to do anything, man, then obviously you've seen what these streams are like and the people that we've got here.
Yeah, I have.
We
Amazing.
everybody will know someone, so we will happily help you out here.
I know. I know.
So, ooh,
He's been
let's.
alive for 2 years now, Helen.
It's been like for 2 years.
I
Excellent. Abby's asked, "What's your favourite part about being in the Navarre? What drew you to Navarre?"
uh, me as uh, I am myself, not in character. I love the forest. I love just hanging out in forest, climbing trees, stuff like that. Okay, not really climbing trees. That's dangerous. But I love the forest. I love being in the forest and everything like that. I am also a big fan of the elves from Dragon Age, which is one of the inspirations for Navarre. So yes, that made me go to Navarre. Then why I
Okay.
actually want to stay there is the people I know, 2 feet and other, and just the community. I know the community is probably just as good as in every other nation, but the song and stories, just the atmosphere, the forest. We camp in forest in 2 feet, and just coming back to the forest when late at night, see everything lit up, hear people singing in the middle. It's just amazing, and knowing I have a home there is awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think that's one of the things a lot of people will say about the community. I mean, I've looked back at some of the other streams and videos I've done, and I don't think I've given any nation a proper cover at all, apart from the orcs, because that is the one that a lot of people, when they look at my streams, they speak passionately about. So, and we get a lot of passion built up about them. So I think I need to do more for that. So
Yeah,
it
you
sort of
should.
made me look at what I'm doing and think I haven't done enough. Um, so where was it? Helen asked another question. What have you discovered are your key must-pack items with your limited space?
I assume you don't actually mean the kit, so everything in the kit, of course.
Hmm.
Socks, obviously. Everyone need a good pair of socks.
So
5 pair, too many, because change socks twice a day and you'll, you'll love it.
yeah,
If I'm not going in the boots, then the boots I wear at Empire, because I go over the summer. I go at E2 or E3, and that's very hot, so you don't want to travel in the boots I use.
no,
So the boots. Uh, More than that, you can probably source most of that. Like just some underwear, socks. Uh, that's most important. Everything else, I I can forget everything else. Really, I want my passport, but I don't think that counts.
didn't you lose that last time?
Oh, it just got extremely fucking wet.
Oh, that
They
was it.
didn't actually, they didn't actually want to, like, the one who took it at Stansted said like something like, "All right, I'm gonna accept this, but you'll have to get a new one."
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, they're stopping you from going home. That'll be a bit odd, that
Yeah,
one. So,
yeah, exactly. They were like, "Yeah, don't come back until you have a new one, but we're gonna let you go home."
um, Avia said, "Ladies in league are out of my league." Well, I think when it comes to the ladies, I don't think you've ever even attempted romance plot. This is something that came up in a conversation I was having with someone the other day. You've never really tried anything like that, so it's yeah, ladies in league. Oh yeah, this is it's a song lyric from a Varushkan band, Rusty Compass. Yeah, yeah, Rusty Compass. They are That's something I do a lot. Is propose. So I talk about it all the bloody time, Joel.
I
Come on.
know you do. I know.
It adds to things and it makes it like it makes me chuckle and it gives people that interaction and stuff. So especially when they see like me propose to an orc on a battlefield, like propose to a Valorn because it had pretty red colours on it as well. So stuff like that, you know how it goes. But still, there was. Oh yeah, there's always drugs. Yeah, come on, that's just a natural thing for me in game. So Human Jester. If I hadn't liked Suak so much, I probably would have ended up in Varushka. It seems rather cool. There's a guy who I chat to in Mark Humes' Discord, and he plays in Varushka, and he will not hear a bad word about it. He loves that brief so much. He has a real rock on for Varushka. It's unbelievable, to be honest. And I thought I liked the Navarre brief, and it was just like, oh, well, you put me to shame, good sir.
But the brief for Roshka is amazing. Honestly, uh, I do almost prefer that to Navarre in some ways, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the dark and gritty feeling of it. I just like that, and of course the Russ inspiration, or Ruse, or how you pronounce it. I like the style really much.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. They are very much. It's like what's her face, Baba Yaga,
Yeah.
The old Russian fable, really, isn't it? I think.
Oh yeah.
Don't go out into the woods, or this person will get, or the wolves will get you, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. As Scott said, yeah, stick to the roads and stuff. So, and they have the if they offer you sustenance for your journey, is basically them telling you to fuck off as
Oh
well.
yeah.
So yeah, so because that happened to someone in my hall.
Oh
But
yeah, I was there when when the Russian came back for it. Oh well, to talk about it. That was interesting. Him first. That's not going into that. That was very interesting.
was that around our fire?
Yep.
Was
Like
was
the Varushkin guy from the tent or whatever.
yeah
Came to your camp. To tell Alex how pissed off they were,
yeah.
and starting to threaten people, and you were about to threaten him, I believe.
I think I did threaten him. I think I was I think I was actually holding my mace behind me. I
Oh
was
yeah, I was about to go. Like I was in the edge of my chair, go prepared to jump you, not him.
sensible, sensible.
Yeah.
So Helen's asked, "What's your favourite piece of kit?"
Oh, I don't really have one. I don't think. Um, I just got new shirts, which I love, but I
Okay.
haven't used it yet, so I can't say that.
Well, you can.
I can, and I did add the. I don't know if are you still part of the Discord or Two-Fit Discord?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then you saw my two little feet. I
Yes.
suited.
Oh, what the your buttons?
Yeah, my buttons.
Yeah. I think Helen is still part of um, the 2 Feet
Discord.
Discord as well. If she is, she might be able to go and. No, that'd be too much hassle for me. I can't be bothered. Or have you got them there? Have you?
Yeah, everything's in the box under my bed.
There we go.
I got
So,
a new fancy shirt. It's a
okay.
military shirt. Not really done with it yet because I need to get rid of this. But nice. And added
Yeah. So,
these beautiful feet to the arms.
that's cool. They are really, really cool. Matt has said, I've always said that players looking for a new nation to play in, you can go and play in the nation with the perfect brief for you, but if you're not playing with friends, then it's going to make having fun much harder. My advice has always been play with your friends, not the game. If you're with good people, the game will come on its own. Come on its own.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I started in the Navarre, and I was playing with all my friends, and then then my game sort of went off to Wintermark with the Hat Films guys and a few others, and then Helen and Josh, and we all went over there, and we all had a bit of and it became a lot. It was a lot more fun for me over there, because I will say this: the 2 feet are fantastic, but they are disjointed.
Yeah.
They are quite spread out. So,
Sadly.
so. So, what has been what would you say has been your most memorable moment since you have been playing Empire?
Oh.
And why is it drowning your passport?
I was really hard trying. I was thinking really hard to actually get an IC moment. Oh, I don't know what happened in character I really loved. There's been so many fun, like, social interactions.
Mm.
I can't really name any specifics. And then of course there was the one when I was monstering, which I told you about, and it was actually in a video you made, I believe. I'm not sure you actually put that in it. I don't remember. But when I tricked a line of Wintermarker to pepper me with arrows while wearing heavy armor, and the entire Wintermarker line started yelling that I was cheating until they realized I actually were wearing heavy armor. I mean, they all broke character. Like, I don't know, 7 people broke character, shouted at me that I was cheating.
Mm.
That's honestly quite memorable.
Yeah, I think that is also one of those moments where, if you're going to question it, let a ref know.
Yeah, just
Don't jump out of it yourself and do it,
no.
because it ruins things around you and stuff like that. So let a ref know. They watch everything, and
Yeah, I know.
and to be honest, chances are a ref was 5-6 feet away from you anyway, could see that
Yeah.
you were wearing heavy, and was just like, yeah, it's fine.
Honestly, I don't know how they didn't see. I wore Shane covering my entire arms, and sure, I was using the breastplate Peter gives out,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the Shane goes over my entire arm and basically down half my thighs. How
Mm.
they didn't see that I was wearing it is, I don't know, blind, I guess.
Yeah, well, they are Wintermark.
True.
I can really vouch for that. So they do. Wintermark are very much very big, difficult to manage. Needs to be split into manageable groups. From in my opinion, when it comes to battles, there are people in the nation already who are very much, we need to do this, this, and this, and they'll
Yeah.
go off and try to do it, and they will argue everything to the, yeah, 3 people, 1 brain.
3 for 1 brain.
Unfortunately for them, Mac has that brain.
Oh.
It's bad.
Yep. That's
So,
bad.
Scott has said, yeah, had a row with a group over my plated leather stopping an impale. Life's too short. I just move elsewhere in the line and carried on. Yeah, you need to do a lot of stuff that you enjoy. Life is way too short. Empire is going to be is one of those games where you have to have fun, and if you are doing things because you want to cheat, you want to get 1 step ahead, and you're taking it too far, don't, just give up, just stop. You are ruining it for people around you, and things like that. There are things that I've seen that have happened. There are things that have happened to me when it comes to refs, and I've called bullshit, and yeah, it has led to discussions in other places, and things have been fine, but it's been people being overzealous, and it's people who have power who probably shouldn't have power, essentially. Yeah. So it happens a lot, and well, no, it doesn't happen a lot. It happens occasionally, and it's kit. It's normally kit. It's never kit. It's fine. But that's been pretty much been my philosophy on it. We come along. This is our holiday. We want to have fun. We want to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
So next year, then E2, E3, whenever you're back.
I was really hoping for E2. Sadly, my cousin is graduating then. So
Rude.
I'm not sure I will make that. I hope to. I actually hope to go to both E2 and E3. E3 is if everything with this is over, then E3 is set. I'm going to go to E3, and I'm really hoping for E2 as well.
Cool. That'll be really, really cool. And if you get the chance to fly into Southampton, then you can obviously come and stay down here with me and Helen. So
Yeah, I would love to go. Like, I would love to go visit you, just not out of Empire. Sure, in con. My lost. Just lost that word. Uh, for Empire, but just spend some time with you before Empire or after Empire. Just
yeah,
to
that would be
hang out with
great. I
you.
mean, we'll get onto your after Empire routine, I think, as well in a minute. Scott has just said Kit can't have armor discussions when he's topless. So for people who don't know, um, our friend Kit's been on a couple of streams. He's the Navarre camp planner as well. So for those who are joining Navarre and are looking to camp in character, you'll either be talking to Kit or to Rosemary. Um, Kit, when he's had a little bit to drink, will wear nothing but a sheet. That's it, really.
And
That
that's
that
most of the time.
and that's being optimistic as well. He'll he doesn't tend to wear much, regardless of weather, really. So um, yeah. So Helena said, what is the goal you want to achieve with Gareth? What does he want to do with him?
I really don't know. He was just. I didn't really know what to expect when I went there for the first time, and he was my first character.
Hmm.
So I recently started moving to the Vines, and I think yes, I might go into priesting somewhere down the line.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because I really, for some reason, I really love religious game out. I'm so not religious. I'm atheist as fuck. But while role playing, I love being like a religious zealot. Uh, while playing D&D, I love playing paladins, clerics. When playing other things that does not have those classes, I love being the guy who goes around with a Bible. Uh,
Or a pilot.
yeah, he's one of the few non-religious characters I have. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So I think I want to go into the religious game. However, that's going to be a slow shift because right now it's mostly healing a battlefield.
yeah.
I'm thinking about getting Justin to dedicate me to loyalty next year.
Okay.
But I won't be a priest until I have a congregation, and that will take some time. So I like my herb garden.
There are a few people in the religious game who I would happily point you at then because shut up, Helen. Loyalty scum. Helen's a
Vigilance.
vigilance
Yeah,
worshipper. So,
that's not the next
but
one.
yeah, as you said, you don't need a congregation to be a priest. You can do it. There are people who
I
I
can't
would
vote, can't
no.
don't you need to be in
Yeah, you, you
everything
can't
there?
you can't
Oh,
vote.
of course I can. I of course can have the game without, but I can't go into uh, Synod. It's the Synod, right? That's not the main one.
Yeah,
I'm so lost.
don't.
I just got home from a 3-day vacation. I'm blank. I got home literally 2 minutes before the stream started.
You've done well, mate. You've done really, really well. You are looking chilled, to be honest. It's good. I'm sat. I've been drinking um, red wine, so I've been working my way through a bottle here at the moment. There's not much left. We're doing well. Scott's just said go ambition. It's weirdly undersubscribed, but I know a lot. I know a few people who would love to sit you down then and have a chat about all the virtues because that
Yeah,
is their game in its entirety.
yeah.
And I would love to witness that conversation as well because they will just love to just sit you down and just go, well, do this shit, do this shit, do that shit, and just go over there and do this, and it's amazing, and they will
I know.
talk you through everything that you need.
And I really like to have that discussion, that conversation, because it, it sounds fun. It really does.
Well, I'll get that one sorted then. I will have a chat with with the lady in question, and I'll just say you need to go and find him and have a chat with him.
All
We'll
right.
get that one sorted because it'll be a really really good one. Um, so yeah, so that's what they got. Scott has brought up a little story about Kit. This is a true story about what Kit did in a battle. He went in to the fight. He had his shirt on. He had a gambeson on. He had his black plate breastplate on and stuff like that. He had all that on. He went in. The strap broke. He had an extra belt going around the waist just to hold it all on because it was a bit old, and the leather was a bit tatty and rotten. The strap broke, so he just took the armor off. And then, as he came out wearing nothing but trousers and his boots and his weapons, everybody was just like, "Didn't you have a shirt on and a gambeson on?" It's like, yeah, he gravitates to being naked. That man, he really, really does. We had a chat. We had a conversation in my Discord about something that I touched on Friday for where I'd like to the community to go. Kit called it, joined the chat, and he was there, and he was wearing nothing but his sarong. That was it. The first thing we saw was his nipples. It was just like, oh, excellent stuff, man. Thanks. So for those in the Navarre, this is going to be a sight. This is going to be something that you'd have to get the natural state of the kit, pretty much. Yeah.
And this is also a skirmish organised, I believe. So have fun.
Yeah, it would be great. It's gonna be so much fun. So something I do talk about on occasion. Kit equals kitless. Yeah. When it comes to getting ready for Empire, we have to call him stuff. We have to call him stuff because everyone refers to Kit. So when it comes to the end of an event, I like to talk about what people do to get over the events and things like that. Now, you're in an interesting situation because you leave site and then you head back to a hotel, don't you?
Yeah, well, a hostel because I'm
Oh, hostel.
broke, but yeah.
So you head back to a hostel, and for us, we just most people they just head home. I know a lot of other people who do head to hotels. So what for you is your sort of like routine for getting over Empire, getting yourself back into the swing of things?
I really like. I don't really stress out about leaving camp early because I said I go to a hostel, and most hostels it's fine with me arriving after midnight. So I like sticking around for a bit, catching a late minibus to the station.
Mm.
Almost always take the minibus back to Birmingham or England or London, uh, even if I catch a ride to them events.
Yeah.
Uh, so I stick around and just have a chat with people, help people. Well, I
Yeah.
say people, it's mostly 2 feet. Get the stuff packed and stuff like that. Clear the camp. Uh, and then back waiting for the minibus, and just try to like during the event. I don't really think about what's happened. I think about like just the practicality of what's happened, not everything else. So when just sit and wait for the minibus, I try to just go through everything and everything stupid and everything weird I've seen, stuff like that. Like you every time. Uh, uh, and then back at the hostel, I do the same basically, and I most of
Yeah.
the time strip naked in front of a weird random man to get into a shower, but that's another part of the story. Yeah, last twice it's been the hostel I've been at twice has like the shower's in the room, and there's no like door to it. It's just what's it called,
Just an open
a
room.
drape.
Or, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's in the shower. Like it's the drape to the shower. So I can't actually change in the shower. I need to undress outside. this is just an open room where people sleep, and you're just like, oh, that's a guy. Yeah, I'm nude. I'm going to shower now. Bye. It is weird, but yeah.
Yeah, because something that I haven't talked about for a little while is obviously you get the Larp blues. So a lot of people will say after they've had an event, it'll be a day or two later, they'll take a bit of a mood crash,
Yeah.
because obviously when you've taken on a character and you've been running around being that person for a long weekend, you get a little bit, oh, got to go back to the real world, got to do this. Oh, I wish I was back in the field, having a fight, having a drink, having a
Oh
sing
yeah.
song, and stuff like that, and you miss it. So I don't suppose, so as Helen has said there, you don't really get that feeling until you are back. You are back in country, and you walk through your front door, you close the door, you put your bag down, and you go deep breath, and then you're home. That's when you can finally relax.
Oh yeah, I guess. But I also think since I don't have to get back immediately to the real world, I can be wherever I want in my head. Of course, I need to dress normally, which is weird. I don't have an axe at my side, but um,
Yeah.
I get an extra day to just get everything through my head, so I don't think I get hit as hard as many others. Uh,
No.
I'm not sure about that, of course. I don't know how other people feel, but I don't. I wouldn't say I really. I will always miss the weekend after I've been there, but I've never
Yeah.
really. I get back refreshed more like oh, I've been
Yeah.
away from. I haven't really. I haven't needed to think about my own life for an entire weekend. Now I'm
Mm.
back and I can do shit again.
Okay. That's quite interesting. That, because I know for me and a few other people that I've spoken to, I have a routine
Yeah,
that I always do after an event, and it's throughout Sunday. I'll always start to take down stuff a bit early, or not to take it down. I'll pack. So I'll have stuff like 50, 60, 70% of my stuff will be packed. So as soon as it's time out, everything is packed, and we can start to take the tent down. And as everyone I've ever travelled with, well, mainly Helen and Josh, they will all attest to the fact that I can then go off, have a chat to people, say goodbyes and stuff like that. Then I come back and then I do all the Tetris for the car, and then I
yeah.
pack it all up. But it starts for me when I get home. I don't unpack. I just throw everything in the flat. I sit down. It's it's about getting a takeaway and finishing whatever alcohol I have got left. So there's normally like 20 odd beers and about 3 or 4 bottles of 2 feet cider that I've still got with me. And then I'll sit down, play a computer game, chuck a film on, normally Alien, and then that's me done. And that's my evening. But
Yeah.
it's something that I find quite fascinating, to be honest, because after the event, I don't know if you remember seeing on Facebook and things, a lot of people will say, oh, the Larp blues are kicking in. I've got the Larp blues and stuff like
I've seen
that.
sometimes. Yeah.
So I came up with an idea, and I think it would be quite interesting to do with you as well, as a sort of an extent. I might have a chat with John and Nana, or anyone else who travels from outside the UK, to sit down and have a chat like 3 days before an event. So give them a bit of time to sort and just have a chat. What do you want to do at the event? Just sit down, have a chat about the event, and then do it a few days after as well. So it's like, oh, you've been home for a day. Let's have a chat now,
Yeah.
just to see the effect, to see what you've done. Just because I think, because I know when I'm doing it I've got 3 people who I've asked, and we're doing it the Wednesday before an event, and I'm doing it on the Sunday after an event. So people are going to see me on stream still with half my face paint on. I'm going to have most of my kit on. I've not had a bath. I've not had a shower. I've not done anything yet. I'm going to be an absolute mess, and I'm going to be talking about the event, and I'm going to be drinking, and I'm going to be having a take. I'm going to have my dirty kebab, and that's me done for the. That's going to be me done for the evening, and I'm going to talk about it all, and I'm going to be knackered. But I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see the befores and afters and stuff like
I
that.
agree.
I think it's going to be really, really interesting, and I would love to do those sorts of chats before and after every event. I think it'd be really fascinating to see how people cope.
It would, really would.
So, because I think the orcs are going to be an interesting one because they are all they are in their kit 24/7, well, almost 24/7 when they're at Empire.
Yeah.
They can't take it out, take it off during timing. I know they can have a break from it if they go into their tent and stuff like that. And I think it would be interesting just to see how much how exhausted it makes them, because I think everything that the orcs do, in my eye, they deserve so much respect for. They really, really do. And people saying it sounds wonderful, sounds good. I'd love to hear a bit of I plan to do X and actually I did Y and
I plan
stuff.
to do X and did jack shit.
Yeah, I have so many plans. The only one that ever comes to fruition is getting drunk and taking in character drugs. That always happens.
Isn't that the most important ones, though?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to have a chat with Chris about doing an in-character tour guide from Mac and Grim as well. Mac and Grim's tours, where we're going to get you drunk more we walk around, and then you'll turn around to go, right, where are we going next? And we won't be there. We'd have run away and left you there. So,
Oh god, I really want to see that.
it would be great. It would be really, really fun. So, okay, so it doesn't. So the Larp Blues don't tend to affect you too much. Then, do you take any time off after an event then to sort of like just to go? I need to get my energy back. I want a day to recover.
I've had the lovely thing of I haven't done shit afterwards. When I started, was between school and my service. So I had like a month free afterwards, and the next event was after the service, and the next event was before I got a job. So
Yeah.
I've never had to go back to anything.
Okay. Well, but it's still nice, I suppose, just to have that little time just to chill and just a bit of time to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Matt has said we shouldn't be respected anymore than any other player. We chose to do what we do. Don't get me wrong. Everyone offering us water whenever we go into a tent is massively appreciated. So you speak English better than me, mate.
No, really not.
Tent is massively appreciated, but people shouldn't treat us any different. But thanks for the compliment. As for my event, my 2 cents, I normally don't get home until after midnight. For people who don't know, Matt Dawes is the Orc camp planner as well. So Matt has more things to do, but all the orcs stick together and they do everything together. So, but I definitely say, Matt, that I think all the orcs, with everything that you put your body through, you deserve that bit of respect. And I think for people who do the lineages as well, to an extent, I think everyone deserves that sort of stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all in kit, but some of us can actually wear our kit home as well. Me and Josh have gone into Fleet Services, KFC, wearing our kit and face paint, and the looks we get off of people, it's been amazing. I have actually sat down and talked about the fancy dress swingers retreat in front of people, just because yeah, don't lean back too much, man. So
I would really love to go home with my kit on. See if I can get on the plane. Massive eye tattoo, 2 feet in the face, some war paint. No, they won't let me on.
They probably would.
Oh yeah, actually they would.
They probably would. There's nothing.
And Swedish custom would go, what?
Yeah. So E2, E3 next year. That's gonna.
Yep.
So that's probably going to be your next event. What is it when you think, oh, I've got Empire next? What is it you're going? I really cannot wait for this. What's the big thing that you're looking forward to?
It's gonna sound cheesy. You guys. I just want to meet everyone face to face again. that's really the main reason I keep coming back, because I meeting you, Helen, Kit, Justin, Will. He wasn't there last time, but Hugh. Uh, Meeting Charles. That's why I'm there. As you said before, I seem to be the one that don't go to plots, and that's true because I go to people.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people are actually like that, though, in the field, don't you find?
Yeah, there's so many people who just want to have a chat instead of doing something.
Yeah, because do you still do fair bit of trading? Do you?
So did you say trading or training?
Trading?
No, I don't really fight actually.
No. Was that?
I tried my first. I think I went around with Josh.
Mm.
Like he was going to show me the ropes or something. I don't know. Uh,
He
but
doesn't know
he,
what he's doing
no,
himself.
no, I realised. Uh, I
Oh,
thought
dear.
it did until like 5 minutes in. Uh, but no. Turns out I'm not good at it really. I can't boss for shit.
It's an acquired skill. I'm
Yeah,
going to do. I think I'm going to do a stream on trading.
yeah,
Um, I've asked Smith if he'll do another video, because he said he did enjoy it last time round, and I think he'd enjoy it again. So he hasn't got back to me yet, but I know he's swamped right now.
yeah,
I'm going to have a chat with Josh. Josh has already said he'd come on to do this, and I think Josh would show everybody how little he knows. He's not read the wiki. He barely knows the brief. Josh is like you. Josh comes for the people.
yeah,
It's a holiday. Josh is in a very, very stressful job.
yeah,
He's a key worker. He works for the emergency services, and he is in a very, very stressful job. So when Empire comes around and he pretends to be something else, he needs it.
yeah.
And I will never. I'll take the piss out of him. He is one of my closest friends, and I will take the piss out of him until the cows come home. But if anyone ever said to him, "Oh, you need to know this, this, and this," it's like, no, 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 no. He's here for the people.
Yeah.
He needs this. He needs that time to forget who Josh is, his job, and all that stress. And he needs that time, because this is an amazing way of forgetting those sorts of things and moving over. This is great therapy for people, I
Oh,
find.
it really is. Yeah.
So, I did have another question for you, but I've forgotten it. Oh, I should write these things down. I really should. I'm shit at this.
I know Helen asked me if I'd ever play a lineage character a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
I
go on.
really
Let's go
would.
for that.
My
Yeah.
next character would be a changeling, I think.
Mm.
I don't
You,
want to be Cambion because that would be a pain to transfer. Oh god, my English is slipping.
it's
To
better than
bring
mine,
over.
mate. You're doing well.
Will keep saying that every time I'm at an event, and I'm just like, no, I'm talking Swedish half the time. I'd really like to change the. I was so close to saying halfling. The changeling brief. It's called changeling. What? Oh,
Helen said, "How is Cambion worse than Changeling?"
Campion's bigger and curvy. I would just do like short fucking stubs.
Are you thinking about Uncle Urian and his
Oh
horns?
yeah, I've
Because
seen Helen's too.
yeah, because his horns are huge.
Yeah. 2 minutes. I'm not 2 minutes. 2 seconds. I need to open a window.
Yep, go for it. I'll read out a question here. Matt has said, "I'm going to be that guy now." You can't hear. While luck can be therapy for some people, it isn't therapy for everyone, and I think it's unfair to expect less from someone because knowing the game isn't in their interest. I'll read that again. With luck can be therapy for some people, it isn't therapy for everyone. Yeah, that's accepted. I think it's unfair to expect less from someone because knowing the game isn't in their interest. Yeah, I do. I definitely will agree with you. Empire isn't therapy. It's not a therapy thing. It's just that for some people, myself included, I will say for me, as someone who has been in therapy, Empire for me is that escape that I need in my life, and it's. I'm not calling your mate out for not reading the brief. It just does my head in when people turn people's hobbies into something else. It's a little unfair. Um, I've probably put a really bad spin on it for him, and that's unfair of me. Josh does it because he wants to spend time with people. He likes the game, and he does get involved in it. It turns out he is actually a pretty good trader. He doesn't know a great deal, but he's got his little niche that he knows, and he sticks to it, and that's all he wants to do. And that's what I'm saying. I won't call him out on that because he has his escape. I'm saying this really badly, Matt, and I do apologise. Um, it's just yeah. I think for some people they want to turn up and just ignore the world, and they just want to sit down and have a drink and have a sing and stuff, probably for a day or two. But I know I'm definitely putting a bad spin on it, and that's not my intention at all. So I do apologise for saying that. I will always if I do anything wrong, I will always own up to it. So Scott says I've known loads of LARPers over the years. I think we're both struggling to get our points across properly. Yeah, I get that a lot, especially with things I say. Um, Scott said, I know loads of LARPers over the years who turn up to see mates, have a laugh, a drink, a fake fight or two. It's a perfectly fine way to experience the game. I think LARP is one of those things that need the people. LARP needs people to come up and do it. LARP needs the people who are going to walk along, turn up, sit down, and go, I'm here to chill for an evening. I have been the character who has been so into my game, so heavily involved in plot, but I've had to come along for an evening because I'm so mentally, physically, and emotionally drained. I've had to turn around to people and go, I can't handle this. I've got to walk away. And that specifically happened when Joel was texting his girlfriend, and it was really obvious. But
I know it's obvious. I'm sorry.
It's alright, mate.
That's I guess.
But for me, it's when I can then I can say to people, I can't deal with this right now. I said I'm not in a good place. So I've been great for the Friday. This is when we had the old 4-day events. So Friday, Saturday, so Sunday night, and I'm going. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. I need a few hours away, and then I walk away, and I just leave it. And people have gone, no, we're leaving him alone. He's not in character at the moment. He needs time, and that's it. And that's all that happens. And I think it takes all types to make a fest, and I think there's a lot to it as well. And if someone ever turned around to me and said I can't handle a situation, I will sit there, change the subject, talk about something else, and take their mind off stuff. I'm happy to do that as well. I definitely have moments where I've crashed mentally, and I've walked away, and people just go, nah, he's crashing, we'll leave him alone. In all fairness, people come up to me when they know I'm crashing and go, do you want a drink? Do you want to go off over there and have a chat? And they do. So it's each their own. And I've realised I've taken this on a real somber twist right now, and I've dragged it down. So let's break it back up. We're going to do two more questions then, Joel, and then we'll call it. So,
All right.
what has been the funnest thing you have ever done at Empire? What's been that moment when you've gone, oh, that was epic, that was great fun, I've loved that? And why was it seeing Kit naked?
Basically because of his massive dick. No. Oh no! It's honestly it was for my first night at Empire as my character. First Friday night. I, it was everyone gathered at the 2V camp. There were 20 people. I have no idea how many, but probably 20 people. Most of us were not sitting in chairs. Most of us were sitting on the floor, and it was a lot of icy talk. That I had no idea what they were talking about, but just hearing everyone being so invested in this world, and knowing
Yeah.
so much, and then of course it ended up with, I think that was nice at least, with Chris fighting Bingley in blind knife fighting, and that was hilarious.
So for those who, if anyone watches Hat Films, there was a couple of episodes where Trott was on it and he had a nice black eye, and that was because the Navarre have done the odd bit of blind knife fighting, where you have the blindfolds on, you've got a knife, you're holding onto a rope, and it's literally you're pulling and you're trying to get to kill the other stab the other person a little bit with a knife, just twat them a little bit. And what happened was Bingley went in low, and Trott ducked in low, and Bingley felled him with a right hook, and he had a nice big black eye from it. So yeah, so if you look at Hat Films videos from a couple of years ago, yeah, you'll see Chris Trott with a nice big shiner, and that was what caused that. So
It
sorry,
was nothing serious, but it was hilarious watching. Yeah, she's just perfect. I think Trott actually won that fight
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
in the end,
yeah, he did. Yeah, he
even
did.
though Bingley fought unfairly.
Oh, he outright cheated. he just cheated. And that was it.
Yeah.
It was as simple as that. Blind knife fighting. OOC, the most dangerous unbanned pastime at Larp. I have no idea how it's still allowed, but I'll stop moaning.
That's very true.
I mean, to be honest, Matt, you carried right on there, man, because you see it in a few places. You don't see it as often anymore. I have to admit, you see it occasionally, but it's not one of those things that I see a lot. It's like when you had Senate Knife Fight Club, and a few people took it a little bit too seriously, and then that got banned. But blind knife fighting, let's put it this way: Kit did it at his wedding.
Of course he did.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was funny. It was funny to see. But yeah, I mean, I think blind knife fighting is so close to being banned. It probably should be banned.
Yeah,
because all it takes, because if you think about it, with these knives, if you are swinging it to try to hit someone, because a swing will generally, it starts off with a thrust before you do it, so it's that little movement. If someone's too close, you are stabbing someone essentially with a carbon fiber core.
Yep.
So, so as Matt said, so let's tie our wrists together and yank the crap out of ourselves, and then stop ourselves being able to see, then swing weapons at each other.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is dangerous. It is definitely dangerous.
Definitely.
But I fought a duel and someone dived at my legs. Yeah, they tried to pick me up. I won't mention names.
They tried picking you up.
They tried to pick me up. At that time, I wasn't small. I was 21 stone. At that time, I was a large man. I still am a large man.
I'm really sorry. I'm just going to say this right now. Who the fuck? Which country uses stones as a measure of weight?
Oh right, okay.
A stone.
Helen, how much is 21 stone? Hey mate, I'm old. All right, I use stones still. Helen will tell us in chat what 21 stone is, but yeah, and he jumped at my legs, and he had his head between my legs, and he was trying to pick me up, and I was stood there, and I was just like, I don't understand what's going on. You're trying to do something to me that normally only happens in the bedroom. But it's nicer than this. 133 kilograms.
Thank you, Helen.
To be fair, my brother once picked me up in my own fireman carried me to run to a healer's. Some people legit can do that shit. I have carried Kit over my shoulders, and I have walked 50 feet with him. So, yeah, I
can pick people up if they help, or like if they don't resist. But in a fight, I wouldn't dive down to pick someone up. At least, like, when I know they weigh more than me.
Yeah.
Because that's just stupid.
But to be honest though, mate, everyone weighs more than you. You're like,
Mm.
I mean, you're tiny.
I'm not that tiny, man.
Yeah, you're tiny.
I'm not
Um,
tiny.
but but it still stands though. That's just the um, that's the point of it though. It's like some weird things do happen there. So Matt said a minimum length for a knife at Empire is 8 inches. 3 inches off of that for the handle, that's 5 inches of contact zone. That's less than the length of someone's foot between hitting them with a weapon or hitting them with a fist. Having a quick skim read over the rules, I'd say actually blind knife fighting is against the rules, as you can't see, you're hitting and thus can't pull your blows. It boils my piss. I'm using that in the future. I'm blaming the hot weather for my level of salt. To be honest, man, we get a lot of new players here, so I think these sorts of things need to be said. So I think it's a very, very good point that you're proving there. This happened. What was it? I'd say 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
I don't know when I first went.
So
Yep.
I've seen blind knife fighting at the Spring Festival that the Navarre do as well. So, but I haven't seen it since. I will say that. So I think a lot of things have changed, and a lot of things do go. But this is more than this is just one of those things that happened, and it was funny at the time. But yeah, and then seeing a lad, as it happens every couple of events somewhere on the field. Yeah, more than likely. Um, to be honest, PD probably should say something about it in my eyes. Um, but yeah, then seeing a lad who I would say was 5'3", uh, very very skinny, then try to pick me up. No, I leant down and I put my hands around his waist, and then I picked him up. I had him. I was like the Undertaker, holding him in the tombstone position. And I walked out of the Navarre. I was sober at this point, I will say. I was sober, I was fully in control, and I carried him away from Song and Storytime. Then I put him down without his weapon, and then I beat the shit out of him, and it was great. Oh, Matt, I'm not reading that out. Oh no, it's on screen now. They can see it. That's the worst pun ever. I suspect they turn a blind eye to it.
Great fun.
And I'm done. So, what would be the piece of advice then that if someone watches this who is travelling from somewhere outside the UK, what would be your piece of advice that you could give to them?
Try finding people there to borrow stuff from. Like I've said, I borrow everything from 2 Feet. Tent, not weapons anymore, but everything. I mean, you even supply them with food, which is awesome. Uh, so you give me gifts all the time. I don't know how much I've got from you. It's ridiculous. Uh, find someone you can rely on to give you a place to sleep. Don't bring your own, because a tent is big. Our tent is so much space you could have used for something else. Uh,
Yeah.
don't bring weapons if you don't need to. 2 less per second. Don't bring arm if you don't need to.
No.
There's probably somewhere you can borrow from.
I would. There are some people in the field who will hire you pretty much everything you need for a LARP event. Definitely.
Yeah.
This is something that we've talked about here on this channel as a community, that we would like to do for people to help them out. It's something that it's going to take a while, and I need to write out more and to clarify a lot of things. But it's something that I would love to do. To help people out. So
New players and players travelling from afar, it's just so much help for us.
yeah, definitely, and I think relying on experienced players who have a lot of kit goes a long way, and it really, really does. So I think reaching out to groups, speaking to people, if you don't ask, you don't get at the end of the day, do you? So I think there's a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I went to the last event borrowing a tent from you, which you brought, of course, and then ending up sleeping IC because Justin realised that, oh, but I have a fucking spot, use it. It's completely unnecessary there. But yeah, it's everyone has everyone can find you somewhere to sleep. Like if they ask me to find them somewhere to sleep, I will manage to find somewhere to sleep for them because I know enough people for that.
Coffee asking if the FB for Facebook for places to sleep is really good. I have a huge tent. I've basically rented segments of to people all around the world. Coffee, you'll have to tell us who you are, what your real name is, mate, so that I can actually put that to the thing. Moon. Been lurking but enjoying the stream. Thanks for the insight. To be honest, Moon, a lot of people just listen, and it's really really nice. I like that because it's I like to think that these streams give people a bit more of an insight. And how long have you been playing Empire for? How many years now? 3 years?
Somewhere around there. I don't remember when I started.
You've
3
been.
years, I think.
You've turned
I've
up.
been.
You've turned up.
I think it's 3 years now.
Yeah, that's cool. So I think having those sorts of things. So Coffee, if you can let us know who you are, then to be honest, any people who ask for space or anything like that, then what you are doing there is fantastic. There's someone in the Navarre. Is it George? What's George Dolby? I think his name is. He turns up with a really big tent, doesn't he? And he's had people come and stay there as well. And all they've needed is a sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's what I bring. I bring a sleeping bag. That's actually I bring a. Oh yeah, I don't know the word for that in English. Insulation for the ground.
Camping mat.
Camping mat. Thank you. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like that, and I think anybody who wants anything, ask anybody for help. Just say anything into the any Facebook group. Say I need this. I'm turning up. I won't have this. Can someone help me out? There will always be someone who says, "Yeah, I've got this. I'll help." Before the group exploded, we were doing a communal sleep tent thing. Saves so much space. Yeah, and those sorts of things do help. They really, really do. So it's what I want for this group, and I know we'll get there. So, oh, excuse me. So it's hashtag not a cult. Shatter Tower, hashtag definitely a cult. So I think there's a lot of stuff there that will help new players, and you just need to ask. We have got, and it's something I'm going to put out about actually at some point for people who, I believe it's been grabbed by a book of, fuck's sake, I can't speak English now. I believe it's been grabbed by a group of Canadians. The tent, that is. Yeah, whatever. They were grabbing you all over the place. So I think there's lots of stuff like that. It's just about asking for help. And I think I'm going to, on Friday, I'm going to do this giveaway. If people have spare kit, this is something that I want to start doing again, is to get stuff together. So if people need anything, we can sort of do a stream where we go, we've got this, we got this, we got this. Are you new? Do you need this? Will you suit you? Will this sort your nation? Let's do it. Let's go. There we go. It's here. You can collect it. You can have it, or you can borrow it, or whatever, and stuff like that. So we'll go on from there. I think, an hour and 40 I've been going for now. We've done well. So I will like to just say, swap shop. That's a good idea. I think it will do well. Fuck me, I sounded like Trump there. We do well. It's a wonderful thing. That was a terrible impression. So
pretty good.
I would like to say thank you so much for coming on, Joel.
No, thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
We'll do the international the international travellers before and after as well, and that I know a couple of bigly good. Yeah, I need to go and have my coffee. It was, I think, we'll do an international before and after as well, a European or whatever before and after as well, so we can have a chat to see what your plans were before and see what happened after, just so that everyone can go, well, yeah, it's the same for me. I wanted to do this, but I did fuck all. And that, so, bestest deal in all of the sleep. The best, trust me, I know good deals. So everyone's saying thanks there, Joel. So that's really good. Abby's a great chat. Thanks. So thank you everyone for coming along again. I do love chatting to you all. I love chatting to everybody. I want to do a chat where I get people who have only been to like one event, maybe two events. I know it's something I've spoken to Rachel about. Getting her on to have a chat with. So we'll get people on who have only been to a couple of events, one event maybe, and we'll do that sort of chat as well. So, and Abby, as we said, get you and your brother on, and we'll have a chat as well, and stuff. They'll be good because I just love to meet people. If I find out about this camping site beforehand, and we are able to get a load of people onto Empire site to do a little bit of camping, I will let everybody know. I have a Facebook group as well. If Helen can chuck it in, I will start to post stuff up on there just to say, oh, I'm going to do this, going to do this, going to do this. George, you've turned up just as we're finishing, mate. Check out. Yeah, I saw the Eversley deal as well. If we can't get the Dadford site, I was probably going to have a look at Eversley. So there will be lots of things like that. So I think it would be good, and then get a community. We'll all get together. We could all have a laugh. I'll see if we can get people having a chat. So join my Facebook group, because that's where I'm going to start putting everything up, because Facebook has become so unreliable. For everything, it's terrible.
Agreed.
So, but I think what would be good as well might be good to do a chat for people who have never been to Empire, who want to come to Empire for the first time.
That would be fun.
I think that would be a good one to do as well. So I'd rely on chat very heavily there. Yeah. So George, there you go. You've given me an idea there, mate. I think that could be quite fun. We get players who have never been. Moom as well. There we go. People who have never been. Get 2-3 of you on. We'll sit down, have a chat, stuff like that, and we could discuss character concept, character creation, kit, stuff like that. Get people on who can help you find all this information. Matt Dawes will be on his game that night. I know it. He is the link master extraordinaire. And get people who have never been to Empire asking questions to people. Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. That is exactly what I was getting at. So we'll get people on. They've never been. So 3 people on who have never been. They will ask questions. I'll keep talking forever like I do. And then we'll get people in chat, myself. We'll get everyone helping everyone. The unimprobable one. You've never been either. So I think there are 3 people right there. So unimprobable one. Oh, we'll sort it out another time. I'm not sorting it out now. I'm streaming. So we'll get that done. I think that'll be a really, really good one to do, actually. That's really, really good.
Yeah, it sounds really fun.
I'll put something out into the Facebook group, or message me if you're interested. We could do 1, we can do 2, we can do 3, because there's a fair few people. So we'll do a few of them. We'll make it a little series, and we can just do it like that, because that'll be a really, really good one. So, because Ben, you've never been, and I think it'd be great to get you on for a chat as well, and we could tell you why glory will never be a virtue. So, everyone, once again, thank you so much for being on, Joel.
Thank you.
Fantastic to chat to you as always. I will do a little bit of plug-in for something. Thank you everyone for Glory is Poop. There you go, Ben, you've heard it here first. If you want to get involved, chuck me a message on this, on Facebook, in the Discord, on the Facebook group, anything. that would be great. He says thank you for the stream again. Thanks everyone for coming. If you want a t-shirt, message me somewhere. 15 quid, got 3 sizes, and we'll do whatever we can. I've forgotten what I was going to say. Mine's gone blank completely. Yeah, so we're done. So thank you everyone for coming along. We'll get this all sorted, and yeah, we'll see what we can do, and we can go from there. So as was requested about an outro, I have done an outro.
Oh my god!
It's amazing, and I'm stood here. I'm not stood here. I'm sat here, and as I'm watching my daughter try to sneak past. You can probably hear her giggling away as she's trying to sneak into the kitchen. Put the glass down. She's trying to sneak into the kitchen at the moment, so she's getting herself a drink. So, but anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll do the new players thing, and we'll get everything sorted. And I'm streaming tomorrow with the Larp Noobs, and we'll go on from there, and we'll get everything sorted. Snacks, yeah, you bring your own. I'll put a thing up about camping as well. So, but yeah, I have an outro now. Hopefully it works, because last time I tried it, it didn't. But the time before I tried it, it did. Who knows? If you've not subscribed, hit subscribe, follow, do all of that stuff. It really does help, because all the money comes back into helping new players. So, thanks very much. Take care, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye, guys.
Love you lots. See you soon. Bye-bye.